What's up? How's it going? Welcome to this new video. Today, my friends, I've got 8 games for your potato tier phones, toaster tier, microwave tier, explosive gas tank tier, trash tier, ZZ tier, dying phone tier, you name it. These are super lightweight games that'll run on pretty much any device. Simple, casual, but a couple of them are actually really good. I really hope you enjoy this top list, and most of all, that you have fun with some of these games. Let's go! We kick off this top list at number 8 with a combat airplane video game. This game features low-poly graphics, so it's pretty easy to run. It offers 4 game modes. 2 of them are super simple and don't involve any combat. One's about taking off, and the other's about landing planes and doing easy flights. Then there are the combat modes, where you'll either fight enemies or take on a sort of firefighting mission. Yeah, a bit of an odd mix. With the money you earn, you can unlock new planes, and interestingly enough, you can even add an image as a skin for your aircraft. Pretty cool feature. What keeps this game fun is that flying isn't exactly easy. It's got a decent level of challenge. It's not a full-on simulator, but it lands somewhere in between, perfect for the more experienced virtual pilots out there. At number 7, we've got a horror game that flips the script. In every horror game, you're always the one running from the enemy, but this time, you are the enemy. You can play as grandpa or grandma, each with their own weapons, and your goal is to catch the survivors trying to escape. But there's a catch: you've only got about 2 minutes. If you don't catch them in time, you lose and have to start all over again. And that's basically it. Simple, casual, and surprisingly fun. At number 6, we've got a shooter game, but don't get it twisted. This isn't an action game at all. On the contrary, it's a super technical sports game. And trust me when I say really technical. All you have to do is shoot at various targets scattered around the field. You've got several maps, each with its own weather conditions, shooting positions, and targets. Sounds simple, right? Well, not so fast. The tricky part is that you need to consider your elevation, the target's distance, and weather factors like wind. You can eyeball everything and sharpen your aim, or use calculators and guides to get more precise results. There's no time limit or need to hit all the targets quickly. This is a technical game. You literally have to make your calculations, aim carefully, shoot, practice, and improve. Hitting closer targets earns you some cash, while longer shots bring in a lot more. You can then use that money to buy new weapons, ammo, and keep going. Definitely not a game for everyone, but those who get into it are going to have a great time. Recommended game. Number 5. Time to be the city's superhero, the one who saves the moms, fights off the bad guys, and even puts out fires. The game runs on a mission-based campaign. Each mission gives you a task somewhere in the city, you complete it, move on to the next level, and that's pretty much it. No money to earn, no character upgrades, just pure mission hopping. The gameplay feels fine, the graphics are fairly nice, and overall, it's a perfectly decent but definitely casual game. Recommended. Spot number 4. As usual in every top list, there has to be a racing game, and this is the one for this top. In this game, you'll find several modes like multiplayer, free drive, and a campaign mode where you progress through different missions. These missions include regular circuit races, lap eliminations, speed zone challenges, knockout races, time trials, and a few others. Winning races earns you money, which you can use to buy new vehicles or upgrade the ones you already have. There's no tuning though. It's a pretty simple game, but here's a fun fact. There are police units and even a police chase mode, which, honestly, I didn't quite figure out. Still, it's entertaining. The only downside is a couple of bugs, and in some maps, I had to restart the game for it to work properly. But aside from that, it's solid. Recommended game. In third place, we've got a true gem of a sports video game, a beautifully designed and developed BMX title that totally brings back those classic Tony Hawk vibes. This game features 2 main modes. The first one gives you 2 minutes to pull off as many tricks as possible. The more tricks you land, the higher your score, and that score turns into cash. The second mode is called Skate. Every time you fall, you lose one of the letters in SKATE, and once you've lost them all, game over. It gives you the chance to score big, but if you wipe out a lot, well, your run will end pretty fast. There's also a free mode, though you can't earn money there. Cash from the first 2 modes lets you buy new maps, bikes, and upgrades. You can swap parts, paint pretty much every piece, and even customize your character with outfits, helmets, and accessories. It's definitely a great game, packed with tons of tricks to master. Personally, I struggled a bit with the controls at first. I could barely land anything. But after watching a few YouTube gameplays, I saw people absolutely crushing it, and it looks super fun. Once you tweak the controls and get used to them, it's a total hidden gem of a game. In second place, we've got a zombie shooter game. There's no real context about why we're here, but it looks like some sort of lab that went totally out of control. Now it's crawling with zombies and even a few mutant animals. You'll be exploring the whole place, classic horror game style, opening doors, finding keys, unlocking new areas, and moving forward. But this one's a shooter, so you'll also find weapons, ammo, and food to restore your health. As you progress, you'll come across newspapers that hint at what really happened, and even mysterious characters who appear, vanish, and then pop up again later, all part of the adventure. For a low-budget game with simple graphics, it's surprisingly well made. The shooting mechanics feel great, it's genuinely fun, and it even has native controller support. Definitely worth spending some time on. Recommended. Rank 1. And to close this top list, we have a real gem for low-end PCs. Many of you probably know that in Minecraft servers, a lot are PvP, but with very specific game modes like Skywars, Egg Battle, Hunger Games, and some other PvP modes. Well, in this game you get those kinds of modes too, but since that's all the game is about, it's much lighter on resources. Loading maps and arenas is easier, so it runs smoothly even on low-end setups. But it's super fun, and playing online lets you meet other people, sometimes even helpful ones. The only downside is that it took me a bit to get used to the controls, since I didn't fully understand some actions at first, and the inventory menus aren't the most efficient, but that's just a matter of getting used to it. Definitely a recommended game. Alright friends, that's it from me, bye!